So this is Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany, the last emperor of the German Empire before it collapsed in 1918. You probably know him as the mustachioed man who helped start the First World War. And yes, he was brash, bombastic, and obsessed with military glory. But to understand the reason why he turned out the way he did, you need to look at his childhood. Wilhelm was born in Berlin on the 27th of January 1859, the first son of Crown Prince Friedrich and his British wife Victoria, popularly known as Vicky, who was the eldest daughter of Queen Victoria. And he grew up torn between these two worlds, the very conservative, militaristic Prussian court and his more liberal English mother's family. So his life started with trauma. During a difficult breech birth, the doctors had to forcibly pull his left arm, which tore the nerves in his shoulder. And this led to a condition known as Erb's palsy. So his arm was left withered and useless, around 6 inches shorter than the other. On top of that, historians think that oxygen deprivation at birth may have also caused mild brain damage, which could explain his hyperactivity, emotional outbursts, and lack of social awareness later in life. As a child, Wilhelm was subjected to all kinds of bizarre treatments, which were intended to fix his arm, from electroshock therapy to being strapped into a stretching machine, which looked like a medieval torture instrument, and even having his arm placed in the body of a freshly slaughtered hare, thinking that his arm would absorb the life force of the dead hare. At age 8, Prince Wilhelm was forced to start riding. But because he couldn't balance properly on the horse, partly because of his arm, but also because he suffered from recurring ear infections as a child, his balance was very bad, and so he kept falling off the horse. However, the instructors, who were under strict orders from his mother, just kept forcing him back on the horse over and over again. And this caused significant distress to the young prince, and he actually often wept at the physical and emotional strain. He did, however, successfully manage to learn to ride despite his arm. So he grew up ashamed of his deformity and actually tried to hide it in official portraits, holding gloves in his left hand, resting it on a sword, or tucking it out of sight. He became obsessed with proving that he wasn't weak, because to be Prussian back then was to be strong, independent, and militaristic. But it wasn't just the physical trauma. His mother Vicky was horrified at having a crippled son. She was embarrassed and ashamed, and because of this, she showed Wilhelm very little affection whilst he was growing up. In letters to her mother, Queen Victoria, she often also complained about him. And it was also Vicky who arranged those brutal treatments. Historians today believe that this toxic mix of the disability, the rejection by his mother, and a harsh Prussian upbringing all played a role in shaping Wilhelm into the insecure, erratic ruler that he became. He wasn't just a moustache-twirling villain, he was a man haunted by childhood scars.